Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Could everyone let us know if they can hear us okay?
Yeah, look, we're late as always.
We're late again. Very sorry.
Tony was panicking. Yes.
Yep, I was.
Barry was having another meltdown. To be fair, he was working today, so he didn't get in until 4:30.
Fine. Really?
Oh, yeah, about 5. Then we quickly woofed down some dinner, and he had to set up his phone and whatnot. So he was panicking a bit.
I was. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you have Becca will keep you talking for a moment because I'm just posting. I'm just getting the live stream, the link to the live. So I'm just trying to find that. So bear with me one moment, and then Becca will keep you talking. Can everyone hear us okay? Is the mic okay? Is the sound, everything good?
I think so. Take a chill pill, Tone. Take
I'm
a chill.
all right. I just need to get this thing.
He was having a bad hair day, really, wasn't he? He was. We all know he weren't panicking about anything else but his hair.
That's me.
I'm joking. I'm
That's
joking.
me.
So, how's everybody been? Has everybody been okay? We have 12 people in the house already. That's like crazy. We've got 12 people.
12 people already. Sorry, people.
12
I'm not being
people.
rude. I will be with you in just one moment.
It's yeah. So yeah, what's everybody been up to? The weather's been awful, hasn't it? For all our English followers, it has been horrible. I mean, I'm not prepared to put away my flip-flops just yet. So me and Phoebes did take a trip to the local supermarket yesterday. It was raining and I was wearing my flip-flops because I refuse to put normal shoes on. So, oh hi Heather, Heather's in the house. John, are you eating your chicken? Because I did see that you were cooking some chicken for preparation of tonight's live. And Barry, have a bit of cake. He said eat some cake.
Eat some cake and chill out. I'm okay, by the way. It's just on last minute as always with me, so apologies. I'm just texting our mystery guest. He's just getting the links, wants to post it to his page, etc. So bear with me, and then I'll be back and I'll have a chat with my lovely wife, and we'll have a chat with you guys.
So yeah, let's have a look. Who have we got in the house? So, oh look, the chicken is nearly cooked, so no typing soon. Sticky fingers. Lovely, John. We got Jim. We have Nigel. Nigel said he was doing it. You were doing your hair. We got Michael. We got Heather. We got the Centurion. So we got a lot of people already. I feel like what microphone are you using sounds different. Yeah, it is a little bit different.
Is the microphone okay though? Can everyone just post? Is the microphone clear? Can you hear us okay?
We're using Tony's eldest gaming headset thing. Just because we've got a little bit of a different setup. The webcam that we did purchase turned out they mugged us off and it was rubbish. So we're now using Tony's iPhone, and we don't use the laptop anymore. Like Chris, it overheats. He has a
MacBook Pro.
And his overheats on the live, so it was just turning off, which everybody knows if they watched the killer live stream, it was embarrassing, it was awful. So we've gone on to Tony's eldest's computer, gaming computer.
We have.
So yeah, so just bear with us. We're kind of getting equipment as and when we go along the journey, really. But yeah.
There we go. So,
you sorted?
Yeah, I'm all sorted. We're okay. So sorry, guys, and sorry to be late. So I'll just say hello to some people in the house as well. I just realised Sam the Scent's in the house. Look. So hi, Sam. Thank you for joining us, mate. So Sam is on Sam the Scent on Instagram. So go and give him a follow. What we'll do, we've got 20 minutes ish until our mystery guest is due to come on. So we will be inviting that person on. But what we'll do, should we run through? You can run through your Barry beef. I'm just going to run and get my scents because you didn't bring those in either.
Oh, hello. I didn't bring them in. Can you hear this? As if he's like, what? I didn't bring it in. Anyway, yes. So we all know that we have Barry's beefs and Becca's boners. So we shall start with. What should we start with? Should we start with a beef or should we start with a boner? So what should we start with?
You start your beef. So we have beef.
Should I start with the beef?
Start your beef.
I'll start with beef. So my beef of the week. Before I talk about mine, have you got beef? Not about me this week.
No, I've not got any beefs about you this week. My beef really is that I'm not complaining. It will go back to some sort of normality in a couple of weeks. But yeah, I'm not getting any spare time to shoot any video or content.
Well, you're working 2 jobs.
Yeah, so I'm getting about 2.5 hours in the evening spare.
It's difficult.
And that's saying hello to my wife, hello, and then back out again. And it's saying hello to the children, and that's about it really. I sit down for an hour, have my dinner, and then I start getting ready to go out again. So yeah, that's not ideal. That's my beef of the week, but it's not forever. It's only maybe a week or 2 maximum. So we're nearly there.
Yeah, I mean we do work. Well, you work quite long hours.
Well, it was 80 hours the week before, and it was 75 hours this week. So quite long.
And we all know in the motor trade, the hours aren't family friendly all the time, but it comes with the territory of the job. So
yeah,
we just got bear with.
Yeah.
But my beef for the week, if anybody was in Claire's live this week, I can't remember what day it was. All the days just.
We do it Sundays, every Sunday, babe.
No, Claire's live.
Oh, Claire's live. Sorry, apologies. So I was at work, so that would have been probably Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday?
Wednesday or Thursday night.
She was talking about, obviously she has hay fever and stuff, doesn't she? She obviously gets a lot of allergies.
Yeah.
She was talking about her alcohol. So she wasn't drinking. Now we all know on Claire's live she does like a glass of vino. Well, she wasn't drinking, she was drinking juice. So we were all kind of a bit like, why are you drinking juice?
Right.
And to cut a long story short, did you know that some people can have an allergy towards alcohol?
Can they?
Yeah.
You haven't got one, have you?
Well, yeah. If I drink,
you've got an allergy for me drinking alcohol.
I've got an allergy for everything, though. Literally everything in life. Life hates me. So we all know that I do have quite a few allergies.
Hi Sarah, thanks for subscribing from my brother. Appreciate it. Thank you. Sorry.
We all know that I do have a few allergies, according to food.
Yep.
But Claire was talking about when she drinks some alcohol, she gets all like bunged up.
All right, okay.
So I sat there and I thought, this is what happens to me. So I googled it, and people can actually have an allergy towards alcohol.
Can they?
Yeah, basically. So I have an allergy to
I'm glad I know that.
most food with like wheat, barley, so like gluten basically. So turns out most wines are stored in barrels which are used for other alcohol.
Right.
So if you store wine in a barrel that's had grains, so like your whiskies and stuff like that, obviously it flavours the wine, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So when I then drink it, get clogged up. So my beef for the week is just allergic to another thing. Just pretty rubbish.
You think you're allergic to alcohol?
I think I'm just allergic to everything, though.
Are you allergic to me?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. When I'm getting beefy.
When you're getting beefy, yeah. So my Barry's beef for the week is the fact that, well, I suppose it's a little bit of a revelation because I know now it's a medical condition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, what female wants to have an allergy towards wine and alcohol? I mean, that is pretty rubbish, isn't it?
It is, yeah, definitely.
But
What's your boner of the week? Come on.
I've got a really good boner.
Yeah,
Like,
yep, she has. I'm looking. Yep.
I'm
Very
the
good.
wicked boner of the week. So, everybody's going to be surprised about this one.
Oh, God.
I think even you're going to be surprised.
Am I?
Yeah, my boner of the week is, I can't remember what day it popped up, but it popped up on my Instagram feed. I would like to say either Monday or Tuesday.
Right.
And
Hi, Claire.
it literally made me die in
Okay.
laughter.
Okay.
I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the song, but I loved it.
Yep.
I literally loved it.
What did you love? Come on.
What did I love?
You're building up suspense here.
Literally, right? So, everybody knows that I love Jez's hip thrusts. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to play you a song. Hang on. Ready? Hang on.
Wow.
Right?
Let's put it on the screen so we can show people what's going on. Right, start again.
Hang on. Right?
This is impressive.
So, when this popped up on my newsfeed, literally, I was in hysterics because he was laughing at himself. I was laughing. I don't know whether it's because we're English and we love this song, but I just wanted to get up and just dance like no one's watching.
Wasn't this my entry song for one of my boxing matches?
That's what I said. Maybe it's just because it's a song.
Yeah.
But
Here we go. Should we turn it around and show them?
right, hang on.
Up to the camera.
Are you ready? I love it. Wait for it. I just love it.
Got a
This
tip
is
rock, shall we go?
probably. I love the way he does the running man. Wait for this. That literally kills me.
Wicked. What a post.
I mean, yeah.
It's actually your boner of the week.
My boner is over
It's
Josie Fragrance, yeah.
I never thought I'd hear you say that.
That's why I said I think it would surprise quite a lot of people.
Yeah. But you laughed at it. You knew he was laughing, so he wasn't taking himself too seriously.
I thought, you just
You
dance.
You dance. You go,
Literally.
girl.
Maybe it's because it's a song. I mean, anybody who is English in here obviously knows that song. That is a song where you just get up and dance. You just don't care.
No.
And I think I did actually try and do the running man. Just, like, woo. It didn't obviously go very well, but yeah, I loved it. That's my boner of the week.
Oh.
Have you got a boner of the week?
Mine's like really big-headed. My boner of the week was my own video. No, we're going to talk about other people's videos in just a moment. No, not because of how it came out or that I'm being big-headed. It was because I was really proud of it. It's like, I had it in my mind, didn't I, for a couple of days what I wanted to do. I said, would you come out and film me?
I said no, because it was raining.
Because it was raining, obviously. So I went myself and I just took my tripod to put my camera on the end of it and took my fragrances and didn't have a script, which was quite refreshing. Parked in the bushes and just walked and got everything that I wanted to get. And I came back and it was very little editing, as you know. I wasn't there all day and all night doing it. And it came out really well. And it's really big. It's like the views have done quite well. It's not set the world alight, but it's one of my best performing videos of my last 20 odd videos.
Yeah.
So really happy. So I'll be doing more of that type of video, I think, because I really enjoyed it.
So Tony's boner was over himself.
Yeah, got my own boner. Yeah, got a boner about myself.
If anybody's got any bonus they would like to share, then feel free.
I mentioned about the mini tingler in there, which was which is Pineapple Sauvage by Matt.
Yeah, but you didn't give me credit for that.
No, I didn't.
I've
nicked it.
You've nicked it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and sue him in a small claims court.
Well, thank you guys. So yeah, look, they're saying great video, so they enjoyed it. Self-love. Thanks, Claire. Self-love.
Literally.
Do I partake in self-love often?
Love yourself.
No comment. No comment.
So I think we. So our next. No. Hold your horses.
Ooh.
We've got to be quite quick because obviously our guest is coming in
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
But we thought of this tonight, and we need to do a what do we call them? Not shout outs, kind of like
What the YouTube mentions. Is that what you're thinking of? I don't know what you're talking about.
How I said about buzzer. What do we call them? You called them something like a recognition type thing in the week.
Oh, I can't remember what I called it.
Oh, well, we just like to put Barry on the spot this week and say that we'd like to recognise you because you are now proud owner of a puppy.
Yes. So,
how is your puppy, Barry?
Barry's got a new puppy called Coco.
She did look very, I'm guessing it's a she, right? Because I got Heather's dog wrong yesterday. She's got a dog called Stevie, and I said, oh, bless him, he's so cute. She's like, he's a she.
Yep.
I was like, oh, that's a bit awkward. But Stevie is a very cute puppy.
Yes.
But is Coco a girl? And if she is, how is it being a fur baby daddy? Okay. Because when our puppies were little, they were a nightmare.
They still are. They still are.
They still are. Yeah.
They don't get out of that. They're cheeky little personalities they have. We've got my recommendations or things that I see, shout outs of the week is I would like to shout out Lizzie for showing her face on Instagram. Is Lizzie here?
Yeah, wanting to put a face in the basil.
Yeah, so Lizzie wants face plant basil all the time.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
I would also like to mention Nick's live on Friday night.
Yes, where I got slated and picked on, yeah.
Well, to be fair,
to
be fair though, you deserve it.
Oh my God, never Barry's beef. My video got banned in 8 countries on Instagram.
What about the dancing? John Travolta dancing?
Yeah, I posted a really cool photo, like video of John Travolta dancing.
Yeah.
And Instagram sent me a message saying it got banned in 8 countries. So I had to take it down.
There we go. Coco is great. No doubt see her in the future.
Yeah, Barry, I have a request. So tonight you need to get a picture of Coco, as in I want to see how small she is, because she looked like I thought she was going to be a lot smaller. So you need to post one tonight so I can see the actual size of Coco.
There we go. So more pictures from Barry, please. Right, what else have we got going on? I watched Chris's video this morning. More self-love, I've got to mention.
Honestly, your head is just going to be like this big.
No, I've got to mention. I was really happy. I had a great big smile on my face because he mentioned it.
Oh, you're fangirling.
Yeah, so
fangirling about yourself.
What else have I seen this week? I've seen some good stuff actually. I watched Lucas Poe's video about his 7 cheap fragrances, I think it was, which I really enjoyed.
Everybody's going on number 7. I made a joke. I think it was in Talk and Reviews Live that Monica Geller loves the number 7.
Does she?
If you know, you know.
Oh,
yeah.
I know what you mean. You told me that. I didn't know what you meant, but you showed me.
YouTube just loves the number 7, and if you've watched Friends and you know what I'm talking about, it's number 7.
Number 7.
Yeah.
So we move on to
Haul of the week. What have you got?
Haul of the week. So what have I got in this week? Right. So my haul of the week this week. This was recommended from me from a guy called Max.
It wasn't recommended from you. Recommended to
me from Max in my live in the week when I did my Dior Homme Cologne clone, which was Zara Summer.
Sorry, I just got to sort my baby hairs out. Does anybody else, any girlies in here, still have baby hair that is literally like fluff, but you can't do anything with? When you put it up, it sticks out like this. I mean, it's just, that's better. It's just fluff. Sorry, carry on.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm alright, sorry.
This is a fragrance channel.
Sorry. It's not a beauty channel.
Right, so this is what I got in this week. Axis Elegant Blue. Now, it was only £10 from the perfumeshop.co.uk. Other fragrance stores are available.
Oh. Look at him, he's thinking. He's not sponsored, by the way.
And yeah, not a sponsored link. And this is the fragrance. So Axis Elegant Blue. Now, I will say straight away is the cap was so like stuck on. I clicked it out, and the atomizer all came off with it. So that wasn't very impressive. But it's back on. It's stuck back on. It's
I
fine.
think you're just being a bit violent.
And it smells. Well, it's meant to smell a little bit like.
Do you know who I think? Do you know who I said straight away would like that? John, because it smells a bit dupey or youpy, however you call it.
I don't think so.
Oh, 100%, John. You need to get it and then report back to me and tell me whether it smells like dupe. Do you know the green one? Is that the original one?
No.
Oh.
It's pink. You don't know what it smells like. It's in a pink bottle. So
I genuinely think it smells like dupe.
Dupe Go.
Yeah.
You got Dupe Wow, Dupe Go, but Dupe is the original one. It
Dupe.
doesn't smell anything like.
Dupe
Smells
Go,
like
then,
smells
maybe.
like Ultramount. That's what it smells like. So that's what it smells like. It's actually, I haven't tested the longevity or performance yet. I've got to do that before my review. But I said I would get it in, review it, and that's what I've done.
There you go.
Yeah. And I've got a couple of samples thrown in there too. We got Flower Bomb sample, and they chucked in Spice Bomb Night Vision. So I've tried that in store, wasn't overly impressed. Smells really good, but quite generic.
Oh.
Right, I forgot to mention someone last week. I forgot to mention what I got in from Scott, the Centurion. Scott kindly sent me a couple of bits.
Scott, if I were you, I would have been straight in his DMs and been like, that's the last time I sent you anything.
Send a complaint.
Yeah.
Fragdictedsnaps@gmail.com.
HR will get back to you.
So I got a question mark one.
Ooh.
And I can't remember what Scott told me it was, but it's an Eastern fragrance from Rasasi, I think. And it's quite good, quite
Oh, it's
enjoyable.
in a black bottle, I know that much.
Yeah. So I also got in from Scott. That is Molinard Patchouli Intense. Haven't tried these yet, so I need to get them on skin. I also got in a discontinued fragrance from Scott, and it's Penhaligon's, and it's LP number 9. And lastly, I got in Bulgari Man in Black. Now, Scott kindly sent this to me because I haven't tried anything from Bulgari yet. Can you believe it? Not tried anything from Bulgari. So that is my first one. Haven't tried it yet, but I will do. So, Scott, thanks again for sending these to me. I need to get them all on skin and report back.
Here we go. It's Latafa Car Rajal.
So your special guest is talking about you right now. Yes, he Sam. Thank you. Yeah, it's not been kept like a secret this week. So
Hello, Chris.
It's Chris in the house. Evening, Chris. Thanks for joining us. So we are due to go live with our guest any moment. So I'm going to ask the guest to click the link. Ready for you when you are. Right, so hopefully the guest joins on the link very shortly and we can get him or her on.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So, Chris, thanks for the mention on your summer video, the top 7. I don't know where we get this idea from 7 from. Who mentioned that first? I heard it from TLTG Reviews, mentioned 7 is a great thing for the YouTube algorithm, but I can't remember. I think we mentioned it on Nick's stream. I think it might have been Bazza. Bazza may have mentioned it.
I don't get the whole algorithm malarkey. It's just too technical for me.
So I have. I'm just waiting for someone to click the link, and then we'll be in. So
it's going to be exciting.
It is, yeah. So sorry, it's going a bit quiet here.
See, look, Chris, 7 had made absolutely no difference.
7.
Well, when you have that many subs, Chris.
I'm just going to repost this link. Sorry, bear with me.
So we have Sherlock Knows. Unfortunately, I don't know Sherlock Knows' real name. But hello, who is Sherlock Gnomes?
Sherlock knows, or hello, centralised. I'm not sure. I've not watched anything.
Hello.
YouTube channel.
Please tell us your name.
Hello. Thank you and welcome to the stream.
Or is it a mystery?
Ooh.
Here we go.
Right, we have the person in the room. He should be able to see us and hear us okay. Yep, excellent. Right. So without further ado, here we go. I'm just going to get rid of the comment. Bear with me. Here we go. So let's bring this person into the thing. Hope you can all give them a really warm welcome. Right, hi.
Hello.
I'm just wondering, mate.
Say again?
Can you turn your down?
I'm not really hearing any feedback, but I'm hearing a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, there will be a bit of delay. So can you turn your YouTube open?
No, I don't.
Right. This is the first time I've done it.
This is my first time, yes.
1 second.
I wonder if it will help if I put my headphones on.
Yeah, that probably help.
Okay, I'm going to try that.
Right.
I think I also realized that my headphones were actually on, but they weren't connected. So let me
Yeah, if you connect them. I won't get feedback. Can you hear us okay?
Okay, for some reason, hello?
Hello, can you hear us?
I can hear you, but it's not coming over on my headset.
Okay.
But it's better on my end now. It's better. I'm not getting that feedback that I was getting before. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, so when I clicked on the link that you sent me, I had to first, it said that the browser that I was using denied the access to the mic. So then I had to like open it on Chrome. So I'm not sure if that is the source of the problem.
Right.
Okay, but you're thinking I can have YouTube open?
No, YouTube is in the background.
It's possible. Yeah, it's like I'm not hearing clearly, so I would like to do whatever I need to do to get it to come across a little clearer.
Right, okay.
What do you recommend I do?
Does anyone recommend? Because we haven't had usually when it's
what I can do, you're saying I should close YouTube, correct?
Yes.
Okay, let me check and just make sure it's not open. So I'll minimize this for a second and just make sure that YouTube's not open. Yeah, I'm back.
Right. Okay.
YouTube is not open. It's not even open on my desk on my laptop.
That's really strange. On my end. Bear with me.
Sure, no worries.
Sorry, Glenn.
No worries. I have been in that position many occasions, so I understand.
No. Watch.
It's really bad.
Sounds like a fire alarm. Should I close it and come back in?
Yeah, can you close it?
All right.
Sorry for your pain, mate.
No worries.
Right, so when Glenn's gone, I don't get the feedback. So it can't be my mic, and we're not in YouTube, my end. So I really don't know what to do.
Oh no!
I've not got YouTube open on my phones. I've not got YouTube open on my desktop. So it's not YouTube, and my mic seems to be okay like this. So I'm not quite sure what's going on.
Nick said the aliens are coming.
Apologies, people. So yeah, Nick, I can't. Sorry, Chris, I can't mute it. Glenn needs to be listening through his headphones. Right, okay, that makes more sense.
Maybe he didn't have the headphones plugged in.
Yeah, I think he needs to be through headphones, as you said. We've got an open mic here, and I'm not sure really what we can do to listen with a mic with our headphones on. So, oh dear. Try flick the screens on StreamYard. That's a good idea. Thanks, Nick. I'll try that when he's back on. So we'll get Glenn back in the room in just a moment, and hopefully we can get this party started, because I'll be really disappointed if we can't make it work somehow. What if you put headphones on? Well, we've got the headphones here, so it could be that the sound is coming out of our speaker system. Actually, that could be it when Glenn's on.
I have no idea.
So if it does it again, then we will try and listen through headphones. But I'm not quite sure if we can make that work. We need the other set of headphones.
Well, let's just.
Otherwise, we're going to be like this. We might have to do that.
Maybe we'll just wait until Glenn is back.
Right, because his mic is picking up your voice through his speakers and echoing back. Well, there we go. So hopefully Glenn will be back in a moment. So we'll keep you entertained in the meantime. Technical hitch as always. These times are sent to test us. We'll see if we can make it work.
We have a technical hitch every week.
We do. Every week something seems to happen. Wanting to say hello to my BFF Bex and Tony.
Hey George.
Hey George, how you doing? Thanks for
We
joining.
love you.
We'll have our guest back on in just a moment, hopefully.
Hopefully, well, a couple of minutes, and he will be back.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. It's
Worst,
always an issue, isn't there?
yeah, we'll turn the screens around when he's on and see if that works. And if it doesn't work, we'll have to share the headphones. That might stop it from happening.
Wow, I don't know whether I could pull those off.
Because I think what's happening is bouncing back through my speakers, as Chris said. But thanks to everyone for joining. We've now got 25 people live in the room.
25 people?
So have you got any fragrances that you want, that you've been thinking about getting? What have you got on your list of things that you would really like at the moment?
Oh, yes, I do.
What do you have?
I have two actually.
Go on, what have you
And
got?
one of those, I got a sample from Maya, and that was Alien Absolute.
Alien Absolute, right, okay.
And also, I would love Pirates by Byron.
There we go.
Yeah, and I actually think Pirates will trump card your Chronic.
No, it wouldn't. Right, I'm going to see if we can get this working now. Let's get Glenn back in the room. Welcome, Glenn, everybody.
All right,
Go.
it's crisp on my end now. What about your end?
Yeah, it's Chris Darling, Glenn. Thank you. We're there.
Woohoo! Hello, Glenn. How are you today?
I am doing wonderful. I was up early. I got up and watered my yard, and then I had to cook so that I could be ready for 12 o'clock to join you guys. So I want to say thank you to both you, Ben and Rex, is what you told me, or Bex?
Tony and Bex.
You said Tony?
Tony, yeah. Tony.
Oh, I don't know where I got Ben from. Okay, I'm sorry. Tony and Bex, I want to say thank you for the invitation to join your channel. I'm honored to be here and looking forward to our chat.
Oh,
We're honoured to have you here. It's more of an honour our end than probably is for you.
No, it is. It's indeed an honor. Trust me, I don't take anything for granted.
Bless you. Now we can see that, Glenn. So first of all, mate, thanks for joining us. Really, really appreciate you agreeing to coming on, because you didn't have to. And sorry for the technical hitches. And,
No worries.
this doesn't seem very professional, but we're learning as we go along. So this is you're our fourth guest on the channel. So I'll just tell you a little bit about why we started this series. So George, who's in the room at the moment, he said hello to you. George Zaharoff.
Hi, George.
So George's in the room. So George obviously did his first interview on you, his the reviewer series, and
yes,
that must have been an honour. And I really enjoyed watching that, and enjoyed George's journey in going around the world talking to different reviewers is amazing, I think. And I didn't want to copy George's idea, but we wanted. No one really does this live on Instagram. They do it a lot, but as a YouTube reviewer, they don't really do live interviews with other reviewers. And with George's series, he got more of an idea of your backstory, and that's what he wanted to find out more about you. Now, we'll be doing that, but in a different way. We want to make it, we will ask you some rather silly questions, so you have to sort of, it's not always going to be professional, Glenn, so you'd have to bear with us.
I'm all good.
And our audience aren't very professional either, so you'll have to sort of forgive them as well, especially like Jon Snow. But no, thank you for joining us. So we just want to give you a bit of background now. Now, I always start with the very same question every single time, and does pineapple belong on pizza?
That's a good question. Before I answer that question, Tony, I first want to just say to all the people worldwide that's supporting the Black Lives Matter movement, I just want to say thank you to everyone that is supporting that movement. And I want to encourage people that aren't on board, but probably just they don't know what to do. Educate yourself. And that is most likely going to lead to more understanding, more empathy, more compassion, and more acceptance. So I just wanted to put that out there. To answer your question, I absolutely love pineapple on pizza. Absolutely. I grew up in Trinidad, and you know, in the 70s, late 70s and early 80s, there wasn't a whole lot of fast food available. But my family, once a month on a Friday night, we would go for pizza, and we always got pineapple on a pizza. So it's something I've loved for a long time.
Nice.
Good stuff. Yeah, George looked up the where it came from, the idea, and I think it was someone in Canada came up with the idea. So we will let him claim that, I suppose. But,
where do you guys stand on a pineapple issue on a pizza?
We're both yes.
Yeah, I think our pizza's a little bit different to your pizzas over there. I think you do pizza probably a lot better than what we do. So our pizzas are pretty basic, aren't they, compared to American pizza? So we're not going to claim, you know, we're gourmet. You're more gourmet than us, 100%.
All right. And you know, in the US, pizza is sort of divided into two schools of thought. There's Chicago pizza and New York pizza and everything in between. When I moved to the States, I lived in New York first, so I'm a New York pizza lover. And whenever I go to New York, get me a slice of, you know, just a grungy $1 a slice. Well, it's probably $2 a slice now, but just cheese and a grape soda, and it's kind of like a thing to do for me when I go back to New York.
Love it. That just sounds lovely.
I just want to go back to, just briefly, I don't really like getting into sort of politics. This is much more important now. I'm just going to briefly go back, because I feel bad for not commenting. So I will go back and comment, George, on Glenn, on what you just said. And what I'll do, we'll then move on to the sort of bit more lightheartedness that we normally do on the channel. But we just want to say that we really support everything that's going on in the world at the moment with the Black Lives Matters movement. We really 100% are behind everybody. My thought on it is that at the moment we've got young children, and I've got an 18-year-old boy and a 15-year-old boy and an 8-year-old boy. This to me is a really important event in what could be the history of things changing, and we're I think maybe not, maybe a lot of people don't agree with us, but we're getting towards, I think, a pivotal moment. I think, and the next generation, I think things will move on a lot more than things have in the past. I think certainly my son's generation, the small-mindedness and the racism and things that have gone with that, and the negativity towards different races. We hope that we brought our children up in the right way, and we're certainly seeing that. They support that movement as much as anybody, and I think future generations, people younger than me and you, Glenn, will take all of this on board, and really it will make a big difference going forward. I think things will improve. They need to improve, and they will do. So I just wanted to say that, and we'll move on to more light-hearted stuff. And I really do hope that we can get rid of this sort of small-mindedness and ignorance out of life completely, because we're all human beings. I mentioned it on my channel, and we'll move away from it, but we all have one heart, one brain, and we're all essentially the same. What it comes down to is that we're all human, and that's what we believe. So I will move on from that, because I don't want the channel to get too sort of political, but I didn't want to just let what you said go and not mention anything myself. So hopefully we can improve things together, Glenn. Hopefully.
Absolutely.
Hopefully. Right, so let's move on. Right, Glenn, I've got first of all, some fragrance related questions to you.
I'm here for the non-fragrance silliness of the
Excellent. I think I like you better already, Bex.
So don't expect any sort of, in-depth fragrance stuff from me. I'll be the fun side.
Fun side of the island.
Yeah, she definitely is that. I'm the miserable one, Glenn. So, so I just wanted to ask you how you met your lovely partner, because you're both massively into fragrance. Was that an accident, or how did you meet?
Interesting. We met in real life once before we actually met again. And at the time I was dating someone, and her and we had conversations about perfume, photography, relationships. And then some time later, I was single, she was single, and we met online, and she messaged me, or I apparently messaged her first. It's a big debate, but she knew all these things about me, and she was like, don't you do photography, and you have a brother that's also a nurse, and you're a travel nurse. And I was like, how does this person know so many things about me? And I was like a little bit scared. I was like, is this a crazy person? But let me play along and see where this goes. And she was like, yeah, we met. You were with your brothers at a bar and we talked. So we had met in real life before our first date, but I didn't remember what she looked like, because I was just out and having a casual conversation, because I was in a relationship at the time.
Excellent. That's a lovely story. And do you live together, or are you?
Yeah, we live together.
Together. So you've been able to spend some time with her during sort of lockdown stuff. Now, I know that you work as a medical nurse. Is that right?
Correct. I'm a surgical nurse.
So
when you mentioned just now that everyone is the same on the inside, I could definitely testify to that. It doesn't matter who we operate on; it looks the same on the inside.
Exactly that. Yeah. So Becca's got a question on that. Let's get that in there now as we're on that subject.
Yeah. So one of my questions was, do you ever, with your day job, you're obviously down in surgery, what, every day?
Well, Monday through Friday, and occasionally if I'm on call on the weekend.
Is there any point where you feel a little bit queasy? You're a bit like...
Yes. Yes. And this is going to strike a lot of people as odd. Drool, the stuff that comes out the mouth, grosses me out. But I'm okay with poop. I'm okay with pee. I'm okay with guts. I'm okay with pus. But the drool, well, maybe not pus, but the drool that comes out, just thinking about it right now, I can't do it. I can't do it.
No, do you have to kind of obviously clean it up? Are you like how Tony used to be when he used to change our little girl's bum sometimes and be like,
Yeah, yeah, we have to do that sometimes.
Yeah. Oh dear. Right, so what has lockdown looked like for you, Glenn? Now, I know you've been working through, so it's probably pretty normal for you, but has it changed your working environment at all?
It has very quickly into the outbreak here in the States. At least at my facility, we went to where everyone had to wear a mask 24/7. It used, for me, I only wore a mask when I was in surgery during surgery. But once the coronavirus happened, everyone had to wear a mask. We started restricting the number of people. So, for example, when I meet my patient before surgery, if you were having surgery, Beck will probably be there with you, and I would get to meet you before surgery. And I would ask Beck, do you have any questions? And I would let her know what to expect as the day progresses. But Beck is now in the waiting area, so I
Yeah.
I don't get to meet the family of my patient to let them know that I'm going to take good care of their loved one, and that is an aspect of my job that I really really enjoyed.
yeah. Do
Yeah.
you feel a little bit sort of because my mum is in the NHS here, so
Mhm,
my mum's been in the hospitals for 20, 25 years.
mhm,
So she's coming up to retirement in August, and she works on like a rehabilitation ward. So her main aim is to get people back home, get people back with their loved ones. And obviously, when Corona hit over here, they actually then started to use the ward for how's the diplomatic way of putting it? People who obviously weren't gonna be able to go home.
mhm.
So her job changed dramatically from having the nicer side of things to receiving people through the door and knowing that they're going to meet their loved ones and actually eventually to go home, to then having patients come in who then can't see their loved ones, to then never being able to go home. So her last few months of retirement has completely changed and has completely sort of tarnished her 20 something years of being able to help somebody. Obviously, I know for you, you're obviously a lot younger than my mum, so you
I hope.
years. But for my mum, I think it has changed quite a lot of people's daily working lives, hasn't it?
It has, especially with healthcare. I'm trying. Sorry, my camera just shifted. Healthcare workers. I have been relatively fortunate. Um, I see videos of nurses in New York with the PPE, the N95, digging into their skin, and I have to wear the N95 sometimes, not 24/7, and I my heart goes out to anyone that's like on the front line. I mean, I'm on the front line, but I'm not out there in the ER triaging these patients. I'm not up in the ICU, working with these patients. So I've been fortunate, and that's just because of where I work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's definitely what they say. It's gone down in the history books, hasn't it? And I think
Absolutely.
it will definitely live with a lot of people for a long, long, long time, 100%. But yeah, I just wanted to know, like, whether you felt a little bit queasy, because when you said you were a surgical nurse, I thought, oh, I couldn't do that.
Yeah. And here's another little secret. Both my parents were nurses, and both my parents were surgical nurses. So as a very young kid, conversations at the dinner table was about work, and I knew a lot more than I should have just by virtue of my parents being OR nurses. So and then I grew up on a farm. We did our own butchering of pigs and chicken. So, whenever my dad would slaughter a pig, he would point on all the organs. So the world was kind of my world before I even started working in it.
Did you, as growing up, did you ever have a dream job? So you said obviously you lived on a farm. Did you ever, at some point in your childhood, think, oh, I'm going to be a farmer? Or did you have a dream job as a child?
I did. I wanted to be a chef. I wanted to be a chef, and my parents never pushed me in that direction. They didn't say I couldn't, but they never said, son, we're gonna get you in that direction, and I'm not regretful. I love my career, I love my profession, but I love to cook, and I could have been a great chef as well.
What's your favourite thing to cook? What
Curry
is your
chicken, curry
dish?
chicken, Indian style. Growing up in Trinidad, the population is half Indian. Well, I shouldn't say half, but a major portion of our population are Indian. I went to a Hindu school for 5 years, and I'm very fond of Indian food, and I love to make a good, curry chicken.
Nice.
Very nice. We've got some more questions. I've got a question from Nigel at 2 cents worth. He's asked,
Hi,
Glenn,
Nigel.
are you allowed to wear cologne to work? Is it allowed?
It is allowed in my facility, and I get asked this question often. I
Yeah.
have been a nurse now for 23, almost 24 years, and I've worn fragrances every single day. I've only gotten two complaints over the years. More often than not, from patients and family, I will get, "Oh my goodness, what are you wearing? It smells great. Um, at least you smell better than the facility." That's the kind of stuff that I've been told. You mentioned George Zaharoff earlier. Well, the very last time I wore his fragrance, the signature pour homme, an elderly lady, she wanted me to write down what I was wearing because she wanted to buy it for her husband who was having surgery that day. Yeah,
Oh, that's adorable.
That's
yeah.
awesome. Glenn, we see you as, I certainly do. I started Instagram and you added me very early on into my sort of Instagram career or starting of my page, and I found that incredible that someone with your type of following would just follow back and support me as well, and support so many other people. And I just wonder where that comes from, because you seem like a really caring, nurturing guy, and I think you suit your profession amazingly well. But I see you as a bit of a pillar. Sorry to embarrass you a little bit, but a bit of a pillar of the sort of not just Instagram community, but of the fragrance community. And we see you at the events and things like that. Was there a moment when you felt you got to that sort of stage where you had a little bit of that responsibility?
That answer is a little bit multifolded. For one, when I joined the fragrance community, I found that there was a little bit of a snobbery between the accounts that were large and people that were just starting. And it didn't make me feel good. So I vowed never to be that person. And as things evolved with my Instagram page, I created a motto. It's ordinary people discovering extraordinary fragrances. So at the end of the day, I'm an ordinary person. I put my pants on one leg at a time. So do you. We are ordinary people. We love perfumes. Why should I treat someone differently because they have a few followers? Why should I treat someone differently because they have a lot of followers? The thing I want to see on an account before I follow, I want to see a true indication of passion. And as long as I can sense that, yes, this person loves fragrances and they're making content that, is of some value, give them a follow. There's this mentality that as you grow on social media, you don't follow a lot of people. Just this, you look at a lot of big accounts and they're following a smidgen of people, and that's never been my thing. I follow a lot of people. Now it takes me, a day or two to respond to DMs because I get so many. But anyone can tell you, if you DM me, you will get a response.
Yeah, I can lay testament to that as well, George. So, Glenn, because you keep, we've messaged maybe once or twice in the past, and you've just shown incredible support, and that I I wish everybody was the same. I really do. Is there something in the fragrance community that knocks you a little bit, that gets on your nerves, or maybe you don't like about the fragrance community? Is there something that you don't like?
Um, there are a couple of things. I wish people will stop glamorizing blind buying. So many people buy fragrances just because it's being spoken about by a few people. The problem with that is we are all on different stages of our fragrance journey. Um, for anyone that's watching that drink coffee or smoke cigars or drink whiskey, the very first or wine, the very first time you partook of any of those things, you probably went with the lighter, sweeter, safer, the Riesling, the Moscato. You probably had coffee with a lot of milk and sugar. Well, if you just blind buy something because someone is now drinking espresso with zero milk and zero sugar and they love it, you may not necessarily like it.
Yeah.
So I'm a big proponent of sampling, getting a discovery set, trying a fragrance out in the comforts of your home, giving the fragrances time to develop, and then going for the one that most appeal to you. I know people want to be guided. I get asked all the time, hey, what's your favorite from X brand or Y brand? But let's stop glamorizing blind buying and do your due diligence. Otherwise, you're going to have a collection of fragrances, many of which you don't love as you develop your sense of style.
Yeah, I've just seen someone in the comments there, Glenn. Brian from Nose Knows No Notes. Did you see his recent release on Instagram with all these samples?
He is I love what he's doing. He's definitely a big part of my community, the Mr Cologne76 community, and I tell him he's the king of samples. Seriously, he put in a lot of work with samples. I don't have the time to create the elaborate posts on just one sample, but oftentimes I'll explore a fragrance house and I will share it in my, on my stories or in my IGTV. But no notes. Bravo to you, brother, for what you're doing.
Yeah.
And they're so tidy, aren't they, as well?
Yeah.
I've actually got I don't know whether it keeps them in a closet or it is literally just like a drawer, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I have closet envy. They are neat. Tony needs to take some notes from that.
I certainly do. Glenn, just off of fragrances, just for one moment, have you got any hobbies that you're partaking or interested in outside of fragrance?
I do. I'm an avid reader. These days, in the last couple of years, there have been more audiobooks, but I'm a huge proponent of knowledge is power.
Mm-hmm.
If you spend your time educating yourself, you will definitely be better. You will be able to talk about whatever that topic is in more depth. For example, lately I've been drilling down on some perfume reading, and I read a book recently called The Perfect Scent. Chandler Burr, he was a New York Times columnist, and he wrote this book that gives the backstory of two fragrance creations. And it's just given me a better appreciation for the industry and really understand how a fragrance gets developed. So that's just one of the books that I'm reading right now. But that's one of my hobbies. Um, I love garden. I don't. I was in an apartment for a number of years, and we just got into a house. So I've been spending time getting my lawn looking right, and I'm about to put down some flowers. I grew up on a farm, so farm life is something, plants. Just something about seeing a plant come up and produce. It's just very rewarding for me.
Lovely answer. You read. We both read. I'm on the go a lot. I'm working and I'm traveling to and from work and stuff. So a way I've got my reading fix is through audiobooks, so
Hmm.
podcasts and things like that. So when I'm at work, I listen to sort of more light-hearted stuff, and then when I'm on the way and to and from work, I read different things. And I love reading. Becca loves reading as well, but we just don't get the time as much as we would like to. That downtime to pick up a book, not as
Yeah,
much. Not
yeah,
with the kids and stuff around anyway.
yeah.
When
What's
lockdown,
up? What's
sorry,
your favorite genre of fiction?
of fiction, personally for me, I would say I like crime novels. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I like crime novels. I like murder mysteries, things, the whodunit type stuff as well. I do like horror, although I hate horror movies. I'm a bit of a wimp when it comes to horror movies. I'm one of those guys that will be hiding under the covers. But I do like a horror book, weirdly. So Stephen King.
Interesting.
And also, I would say some of the more well-known people, like the James Patterson and stuff like that, I could read forever, but I just don't get the time. And I find myself wanting to turn off more. So
mine's more.
Yeah.
I work in the motor trade. I've worked in the motor trade for about 10 years now. So I do all the paperwork when it comes to, obviously, a customer picking a car up. And a lot of guys I work with don't really sort of see me as the, I wouldn't say nerdy sort of person, but I love new history. So I call new history like World War II. So my genre is probably World War II and space. I love space, like space itself. I mean, I could just do a whole chat about space because it just blows my mind. I just can't really get my head around space.
Have you read The Martian?
No, we watched the film.
The book is a lot better.
Is it?
Is it?
Yes, I read the book first.
Yeah, I need to find some of these books because it's you just can't fathom what's out there.
Start with The Martian.
I will start with The Martian and I will message you after I finished it and I will let you know what I thought. But yeah, I'm a bit of a hidden sort of history nerd. I love history.
So do I, and it's been more recent. I go through these phases where I just drill down on something, and a few months ago it was World War II, all the conflicts, and right this second is just the stuff in the U.S. with regards to slavery and segregation. Because not growing up in the United States, I'm very ignorant of a lot of facts, a lot of history that shape perspective, and I want to be able to understand, people's feeling about certain things. So that's what I've been reading in the most recent weeks.
We went to Poland I took Tony to Poland for his 40th birthday. And
don't look it.
And we went to concentration camps. And obviously that's a massive, massive point in history. And before I went, I knew that I came from a Jewish background. My mum is into family history, so she's traced back where we've come from, basically. And a lot of our ancestors did come from Europe, and a lot of our ancestors were in Poland at that time. And so we went, and it was just overwhelming because you stood in a place where it's basically pure evil, but actually reading it in a textbook to then having it based on your family history and thinking, well, gosh, like my nan, so my great grandparents took my nan and fled before before they got invaded. So if they hadn't have taken that moment, I kind of think, gosh, where would we be? And that's what I think I find so interesting about that pinnacle point in our history and in our world. So that's where I think my interest comes from. And obviously having my mum and my dad's family background obviously come into my life, it just makes you wonder, just make you want to delve a little bit deeper. So,
absolutely. Thank you for sharing that.
No problems. Claire the Smurfy Girlies put, Bex, did you read The Tattooist of Auschwitz? We've both read that, haven't we? And we found it harrowing. I've read The Librarian of Auschwitz as well. And they're incredibly harrowing books, and nothing prepares you for when you're there. You cannot be prepared to what the experience is like when you see proof and evidence of what's there. And you still got theorists out there, conspiracy theorists, saying it was all like it's a load of rubbish, and you can actually see.
Wow.
It's just insane what you see, and
Crazy.
It's almost shock rather than tears, Glenn. It's strange. I was just shook to my bones through being there, but I wasn't emotional. I was more angry and more. I don't know. I just found myself just shocked. I was very silent, wasn't I? I was very quiet. You were very quiet throughout the whole lot. And
I was trying to compose myself, Glenn. I thought, oh gosh, I can't cry in public, but you know, you're scanning the walls just to see if you can find your family surname. And at that point, I couldn't remember my mum's family's surname. So at that point, I thought, oh, I'm not going to text, because if you do see, you know, your family's name, it's just a different sort of level, isn't it? But we won't dwell on that. But in terms of like my love for space, have you ever, one of my silly questions, Glenn, is, would you ever go to space?
If you had the opportunity to fly with Elon Musk, would you go to space?
I'm a little bit claustrophobic. I can still get on an airplane with no problem, but I think I may have an issue on a spacecraft. I think I may have an issue. So, especially for the duration that they travel for. So I don't see that happening.
No, I don't think I would either. As much as I'd love to, I mean, by all means, send somebody up with a GoPro and I'll watch it on the internet.
Yeah.
I could be there.
Yeah.
She's nominating you, Glenn. She said, right, Sam Broom has said hello to you, Glenn. He's in the comments.
Hi, Sam.
And he's asked, have you ever read The Richest Man in Babylon?
I have not. This is the first I'm hearing of it, so I will definitely, I'm going to make myself a note to look that up.
The Richest Man in Babylon.
I'm going to make a note of that too, because there we go. I've taken a picture of the screen. There we go. That's the quickest way to do it. Right, so just briefly, then, after lockdown ends and we're able to travel again, Glenn, have you got somewhere you would like to go first? Any travel destinations that you have your eye
on? Man, there's quite a few places. I want to get out to Florida. I want to go visit Osme Perfumery. I hope to be able to go to Exxon's again next year.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go this year in April, and you know, obviously Corona prevented that from happening. And then I would love to take my lady to Barbados, even though I'm from Trinidad. Barbados has one of the nicest beaches in the Caribbean, and I've experienced it, but she hasn't. So I would love to take her there.
Lovely. I've been to the Caribbean once. You've never been. We would love to go. I'm not sure where would be our first. Barbados sounds beautiful. My mum and dad have been to Barbados, and
I'd love to go to Jamaica.
Love to go to Jamaica as well, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, lovely place. Right, have you got any questions?
Well, I've got silly questions.
Okay.
I didn't know whether you wanted to get any fragrance.
Yeah. So,
really quickly, there were two more places that's been on my radar. Dubai and Nigeria are also on my list of places to want to go to.
Nice. I think Dubai is one of those places where you just have to go, don't you?
Yeah.
Have to go just to experience not the craziness, just
the perfume.
Yeah, the perfume. That's why you want to go, Glenn. That won't be the reason.
Yeah.
I heard there's good shots. Yeah, one of my silly questions. I've only got one left, and then I've got some would you rather's, which are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But my last silly question for you is, who is your celebrity crush?
Celebrity crush. Whoa.
Brent, if you haven't got one now, who did you have a celebrity crush on when you were younger?
I didn't have one. I never really had one, to be honest with you. I think for me, there are people that I admire. Um, if you were to ask me like a celebrity that I would like to meet, Michelle Obama tops
Yeah.
that list.
Yeah.
Okay, Michelle Obama tops that list, but a crush, not really.
No. So going on that one then, if you could invite four other guests to a dinner party, who would you invite? Whether they are still alive or have passed, you can bring people back from the past, but you're allowed
Wow.
four people. Who would you pick?
Um, wow, that's a tough one. Stevie Wonder,
Stevie Wonder, great one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michelle Obama. She could
Mhm.
bring Barack, but that still counts as one. That still counts as one. Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me think about the last one. Think about the last one. I'm gonna come back to you on the last one. Let me think
Okay.
about that.
Have a little think. Have a little think.
Glenn, have you got a favourite note in fragrance? Is there a favourite? Is there something you really just love more than anything else that you got a real fondness for? Of?
This is gonna come as a surprise, but I actually don't have a favorite note because all notes really come together and create the sum. I equate fragrances to music. And to say that you have a certain note in music is kind of far-fetched for me, right?
Yeah.
So the truth is, all notes contribute something. And for example, my scent of the day. This is a fragrance by Sylvain Delacourt. This is Os Iris. And this comes from a collection of fragrances that feature orange blossom. And I love this fragrance. But orange blossom, who thinks about orange blossom normally with notes?
No, not
Normally you don't think about orange blossom, so I have beautiful fragrances that feature leather and chocolate and oud and rose and jasmine. They all have um they all have their place. Now I have favorite scent profiles, oriental, gourmand, even florals I enjoy, like jasmine, rose, ylang. I love those type of notes, tuberose, gardenia, but no one particular note, to be honest with you. They all have their place, and I've experienced fragrance with most notes done nicely.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it's difficult to pick out one though, as you said, because so many go together and there's so
Mhm,
many different notes that you might like that note in one fragrance, but not like it as much in another.
Mhm.
So
mhm.
it is difficult to pick out. We've got on that question. I don't think Becca's asked it in her serious question. So if
I
you
have
could,
serious questions.
if Becca has some serious questions, if you have you had the opportunity or would you create your own fragrance?
Bear in mind, would you rather questions? He's
Oh,
just stolen my question.
A question thief, huh? A question thief. Here is the truth. Because of my nature, because I am the kind of person that loves to know what I'm doing, I would love to attend perfumery school, even if it's a short course on materials. And when I, if and when I create a fragrance, I want to have such an involvement in the process beyond sniffing the scent strips and saying, yay or nay. I want to have a better understanding of materials. And, ideally, I would love to create my own. If I could somehow make all my bills and responsibilities disappear and attend perfume school, I would so do it. I would so do it because I'm just fascinated by the world of perfumery, but I don't know enough. And I don't want to just be the face on a bottle. I want to be the man.
yeah. So that leads on to another question. So my people's goals and aspirations change over time. Mine certainly have. So with this, it was a bit of fun. It was something I really enjoyed, and I had an interest in it, and that was it really. So I'm not as experienced with notes and things like that, but I am learning. And with starting my channel, I'm learning all the time, and my goals change. So, for example, my first goal on YouTube was to get to a point where the hobby wasn't costing me maybe as much money. So, because we've all got responsibilities with the family, that was my only goal, really. I didn't expect to get, but as time's moved on, you see things grow a little bit. Your goals, my goals certainly are, they're moving with it. Now, I wonder if you've got a similar answer to me on this. If you could drop your career, not now, but maybe in the future, to take on something within this industry, is that something you would love to do?
Either creating perfumes on my own brand, or I once told someone I would love to be the Oprah Winfrey of perfumes.
Yeah.
I'll let that sit for a second.
No, you know what? I couldn't think of anyone better to be the Oprah of fragrance. You suit that perfectly well, and I I've just got so much admiration. I'm not fanboying you. I know a lot of people have, and everybody I know and speak to speaks so highly of you. And sometimes you can see through some people that you can see into your core and you just know that you're a good person. And I think that is really special to everybody. So keep doing what you're doing, Glenn, and I hope all your dreams come true, mate. I really do. I'm sure
Thank you.
there, and I couldn't think of anyone better that could achieve that. So keep doing what you're doing, and it will come. I know it will.
Thank you.
Onto your generosity part. Now I know how generous you are. I know how giving you are. Is there anything that's sort of made you like that, or is that just within you? If you, I'll give you an example. I asked Jules that question, why are you so generous? And he believes in giving is the same as receiving. So what you give out will come back, and he doesn't do it for that, but he thinks it's one and the same. But is there something that what makes you like you're so generous, basically?
I think the most significant influence to why I am the way I am is my parents, the way they raised me. I was my parents' firstborn, so just based on that, I was always a leader amongst my siblings, and I joined the military and I progressed pretty fast. I spent 10 years in the United States Navy, and again, I was a leader in the Navy. And when I started gaining traction on Instagram in the fragrance community, I wanted to develop a community. There is the large fragrance community, but within the fragrance community, there is the Mr. Cologne76 community. And I have done everything that I do to develop that community. I feel that you have to lead from the front. You have to model behavior that you want to see in your community. And that is why I am the way I am. Very early in my journey, in a Facebook group, a lady had noticed I was asking very pointed questions. She messaged me, she gave me a phone number. I spoke to her. We had a conversation about the fragrances that had already been kind of pulling me into the rabbit hole. And she sent me a bunch of samples. So I get these samples and I discovered some fragrances that are still to this day, some fragrances that I love. I wanted to keep replicating that.
Yeah.
I make sample packs and I send out to my followers all over the world. There's not a continent that I haven't sent a sample pack to. And because of the things I've done, I have true followers, true fans. And it just motivates me to keep spending the time, uh, spending the time away from, family and other things that I enjoy, to keep giving back to the people that really support me. And it's just a cycle. It's the way of life.
Yeah. Something similar happened to me, Glenn, and you know this person quite well, but Maya,
Hmm.
she
Yeah.
reached out to me in the early days and she said, have you tried? I mentioned that I'd heard good things about Byron, the
Hmm.
Chronic,
Hmm.
and Maya was kind enough to contact me, and she's in the UK, and she asked if she could send me some samples, and she sent me three from the Byron. So she sent me Pirates, Mula Mula, and the Chronic. And I was just, no one's ever done anything like that to me before. So I was just literally not just blown away by the fragrances, because I fell in love with them instantly. But I think I fell in love with that whole experience. So I think I love them not just because I've received them from Maya, and I will always associate Byron now with Maya because she was the person that sent them out to me, and I know she's done that for other people as well. And it taught me a massive, massive lesson in terms of the giving out to other people, and I. I do that, and I just look up to you massively from that point of view because not everyone does, and I think it's lovely just to receive a message from someone, even if it's randomly, just to say hi, just touching base, hope you're doing okay, and take a little bit of interest in that person. And I think it's lovely when people do that. And Maya is just literally, we love her to bits. We think she's fantastic, and she's unbelievable, isn't she?
Yeah, I've had the pleasure of meeting her, and I consider her a friend. And Maya, I don't know if she's on here now, but she's probably going to see this. I just want to say, my thoughts are with you. She'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And just to add on to what I had said before as well, behind me there is a wall of fragrances, and many of those were sent to me by perfume brands. And what good is it to me if I'm not sharing that with the people that's supporting me? So, that in itself is motivation enough. I'm never going to wear all those fragrances. So, what better way to use them up than send them out? So, the limiting factor in getting more of them out is time. And I do pay for them out of my pocket when I mail those packages all over the world, you know. And I've had people say, well, Mr. Cologne, like, let me at least pay for shipping. No, I'm going to pay for it.
Yeah. No, it's important, and I commend you for that. Have you
Thank
got,
you.
before Becca gets onto a sort of rather silly would you rather's, have you got any
Sure.
questions for us at all, Glenn? Anything you want?
Um, what's your scent of the day?
My sense of the day is a Dior interpretation by Rosa Salas. Have you heard of Rosa Salas? Is in the UK. He's quite
Yes.
yeah. So he sent me one called Alpha, which is similar to Dior Intense. So
Hmm.
very heavy iris-based fragrance. So
Uh-huh.
it's a bit cold, bit cooler here today. We're down to roughly, we must be 50, 60 degrees Celsius. And I was working, wanted something comforting that worked in the
Hmm.
cool weather. So I went with that today. What's your sense of the day, Glenn?
Well, I'm wearing the Sylvain Delacourt. I'm
Yeah.
wearing the Sylvain. What about you, Bex? What are you wearing?
I am wearing, so it's complete opposite to Tony. It's so we are literally the opposite end of the spectrums when it comes to fragrances. So
Uh-huh.
he's very sort of comforting, and mine's very fresh. So it's from Perfume Parlor,
Hmm.
and it's called Blue Card, and it's their interpretation. So it's their mix of Baccarat Rouge 540 and Virgin Island water.
I've done that mix, so you smell great today.
Ah, feeling fresh, Glenn. Feeling fresh.
You smell great. So I've got a question for you too, because myself and my lady, we do this. I often pick fragrances for her to wear because I want to experience them on another person. So I will ask her to wear fragrances at times. Do you guys do that as well?
You do that to me. So Tony does it to me. Only because, so we have this long-standing joke that I have what Tony would call a basic nose. Now, I don't take this personally. It's not, it doesn't hurt my feelings. So he suggests things for me to try. So he will get a lot of
And then just spray them in her face, Glenn.
he will get a lot of testers, and he'll go, I think you'll like that. So I'm there and I'm sniffing it. I'm thinking, oh, I'm not sure. He said, no, 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 put it on your skin. So he will put it on the skin, and 9 times out of 10, he does get it right. But I think because I'm quite, I'm quite at the beginning of my journey, whereas he's sort of in the middle, sort of knows what he likes, what he doesn't like. Where if I've come in on a completely different end of the scale. So I've come in based on my photography and based on that love. So when he gets new fragrances in, I'm sort of new to it all, and I'm like, oh, what is this? What's this? Obviously, I don't know the notes behind the fragrance or anything like that. I literally just base it on whether I like it or whether I don't like it. And I think sometimes it complements what Tony does, because I will sometimes say to him, you're looking a bit too deep into it. Like, it smells like this, it smells nice, wear it. Whereas Tony's like, oh, wonder what notes it's got, wonder what it's got this, wonder if you could wear it with this. Whereas that's where he jokes that I'm quite basic.
Well, that's
why she doesn't like anything basic, Glenn. Have you smelled, this is an example, have you smelled Callan from Parfums de Marly?
which one?
Callan.
I have, yes.
And I would say that's one of the more basic of the Parfums de Marly range.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Becca thinks that smells too animalic.
Okay. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier about coffee and cigars and alcohol. You know, she's at a different stage in her journey. If we were talking about, if we were comparing this to education, you know, she might be like, you know, getting out of kindergarten based on that, and that's okay because she can only go forward, right? She can only go forward. And here's the deal: smells are strictly based on perceptions. When we smell something and we say, oh, this is a rose, we only know it's a rose because we were taught that it was a rose. So when she smells fragrances that, you know, may not necessarily appeal to her, is because she doesn't yet have something to attach that scent, you know, doesn't have a memory to attach these new novel scents to. So much the same as the person that started off with, you know, Moscato and Riesling, it had to be sweet. And then, you know, they conquered that, and then all of a sudden they was like, let me try a Pinot Noir or Cab, right? So there's a whole destination ahead for Beck. So just keep sniffing and being open to, you know, smelling fragrances. One of the things that I don't like is someone that's just closed-minded about smelling fragrances or trying fragrances. That's just my own bias. I prefer someone that's like, let me try it. Let me put it on. Let me see if it will develop into something I like.
Nice. Now, one thing I would say about Becca Glenn is that she has got an amazing nose. She's got, I think, a more accurate nose than I've got. She will associate a fragrance very quickly and sometimes know what's in it. So she will say, oh, that's like that. And I haven't got that association. I'm like, oh yeah, I've now got that because you've said it. And so yeah, it's got an incredible nose. So I'm looking forward to Becca's journey into it as much as me. And you know what? I'm really lucky that I've got Becca that, similar to you in your scenario, your wife loves fragrance, your partner loves fragrance. And I'm very lucky that Becca's supported me in the early steps of this and has tried to understand it and is now involved, even coming on my channel, which I just love. Absolutely love
I know. I'm a little bit jealous because you know, we've talked about, you know, having Nosy Couture come on my channel, but I still haven't really done a whole lot with her on camera. But she definitely loves fragrances. Our first date, I wore the Homme Intense, and she wore Creed's Oud, Royal Princess Oud. And within 5 minutes of meeting, I asked her, like, what are you wearing? And she said, Creed Royal Princess Oud. And once she said that, in my mind, I was like, this is a keeper, because I couldn't date someone that, you know, didn't wear perfumes on a regular basis. And the fact that she was wearing niche, that just told me she was further along her journey, and she wouldn't think I was crazy when she came over and saw I had, you know, a bunch of fragrances.
Brilliant.
Exactly.
Right. Well, Becca's going to get on to her would you
very
rather.
Important questions.
Very important questions,
Yeah.
Ben. So
all right, let's do it.
get comfortable. Just quick question from one of the people in the room. Sam the Scent, he's on Instagram. Has basically said, does Glenn prefer more classic perfumery or experimental modern niche?
Experimental modern niche, without a doubt.
There we go.
When I got into niche, I got in with the stuff that was moving forward from the point that I entered. And I do experience some of the classics from time to time. But for example, some of the reading that I've been doing, for example, Perfume Legends from Michael Edwards, it's given me a better appreciation for the classics. Likewise, the Roger Dove book, Essence Perfumery, it's right here. The Essence of Perfumery. When you read a story about why Guerlain's Shalimar bottle is shaped the way it is, it it gives you a better appreciation for the fragrance, and that to me ties in with my enjoyment. So modern, yes, I do appreciate the classics, but I'm more modern, experimental, push the envelope.
Excellent. Right, we'll move over to Becca's
Are we ready?
lovely
We
questions.
got a jingle.
Oh yeah, sorry, Glenn. We've got a rather professional jingle here.
Yeah.
That I'm not very musical, so you'll have to bear with me. The simplicity of this jingle.
It's amazing.
It's
ready?
So this is what's the would you rather?
Would you rather?
Oh, hold on.
Oh.
Epic fail. I'm like a dad with technology. It's terrible. Hold on. Would you rather?
Oh.
Nice.
So, like I said, these aren't like fragrance questions, but they're very important questions just for life in general. So, we shall go with the first one. Would you rather eat donuts or eat candy, Glenn?
Donuts.
Donuts? Oh, what? Just normal ring donuts?
Yep.
Or what with jam in?
If I had something in the middle, I would rather chocolate over vanilla, but just a glazed donut, a donut glazed with chocolate is fine. Sprinkles, yeah.
Would you rather have an extra finger or an extra toe?
Extra finger. I wear size 14 shoes. An extra toe would just be a mess.
Yeah, I can understand that. Have a magic carpet that flies, or would you rather have a personal robot?
Magic carpet that flies.
Right, okay. And then, would you rather have a car that can fly or go underwater?
A carpet that can fly.
Nice. Would you rather go to bed late or wake up early?
Huh. Go to bed late.
Would you rather designer fragrance or niche fragrance?
Repeat the question.
Would you rather have designer fragrance or niche
Oh,
fragrance?
niche fragrances.
Okay. Pizza or fries?
Ooh,
You
pizza.
can't have both, just one. Pizza.
Pizza.
Would you rather have it warm and raining or cold and snowing?
Warm and raining.
Nice. Be incredibly funny or amazingly smart?
Wow. Amazingly smart.
Okay. Yeah, because then you can teach yourself how to be funny. Yeah. Would you? Oh, see, this is what this question Tony pinched already. Would you rather own your own fragrance company or make a one-off fragrance with a house of your choice?
Wow. Man, that's a tough one. I would have to say own my own company.
Yeah, so you can do one.
Yeah. That's an excellent question. Excellent question.
Thank you, better than yours. Would you rather speak all the languages in the world or speak to animals?
Speak to animals, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, Tony said he'd rather speak all the languages. But imagine,
I love animals.
Yeah, imagine speaking to a lion or a tiger.
Yeah. I love animals.
What's up, Tiger?
That's crazy. How do you say that? Sorry.
Gourmand.
Or fougere?
Gourmand.
Yes. Pepsi or cola?
Cola.
Yes. Hershey's or Reese's?
Hershey's.
Which one's your favourite? Because we only get one over here, which is the cookies and cream, which is the white chocolate, I think.
Oh, for what?
Hershey's.
Hershey's.
Yeah.
So the only Hershey we have.
I like the milk chocolate with almond.
Oh, nice. Okay. Bud or Coors?
Say again?
Budweiser or Coors?
Ooh, I'm not a beer drinker. When I do, I try to go for craft beer. So I'm trying to say I will have to probably say Coors if I had to choose one of those.
Okay.
But yeah.
And then the very last important question, and you can't say both, just to be polite, you have to pick one.
Uh-huh.
So, predicted or predicted snap?
Fragdicted snaps.
Glenn, right, me and you having words later.
Woo! I'm in.
Brilliant. Right, thank you, Glenn. What we're going to do now, I'm just going to ask some of the subscribers or people in the room if they've got any questions for you.
Sure.
We'll see if anyone's got any. There has been some popping, but it's very difficult to keep up with some of the comments while talking to you. But
Sure.
I'll have a little scroll up and then we'll scroll back down again.
All right. And while you're doing that, I just want to say thank you. I posted this on my page right before I came on, and I left instructions to go click on your link in your bio. And for those people that came on, I just want to say thank you for being here. It means a lot. You know, this is the kind of support that I talk about that keeps me motivated. Is the kind of support that I receive. So thank you for those of you guys that came on. I can't see the comments, so just know that I appreciate you all coming.
Thank you. What I'll do, Glenn, as well, is I will make sure that Glenn's channel and the Instagram is linked below. I found that, as you probably found from the thing, it's not being prepared. It's very difficult to not know the link before it goes live, if that makes sense.
Okay, yes.
And on top of that, the description thing works very differently. Until it's gone live, I can then edit everything I need to edit. So I can't edit the live, but I can edit the description and things like that. So I will link Glenn's channel to his Instagram page and Glenn's YouTube channel below.
Thank you.
One other thing, Glenn, from me, have you got any plans for your YouTube page at all? Because you're obviously a little bit.
You know, I want to put more content on YouTube. The truth is, a family, full-time job. I'm doing as much as I can, and I know that it's really hard to be present. And when I say present, I don't mean just having content, but I mean responding to your followers, being there for them, having conversations. It's not possible for me to do that on YouTube and Instagram. So the motivation to put content on YouTube just isn't there for me, because it will really be more of a, hey, I've got a video there, but I'm probably not going to be as responsive as I am on Instagram. On the other hand, I'm often asked, like, hey, what are 5 recommendations for fragrances for work? Hey, what are some? So I would love to create some content that I could then say to someone, oh, I have a video about that. Here's the link, or go on my channel. So have you. So that's kind of where I stand with YouTube.
Good stuff. Well, look, time's moving on. I'm very mindful of your day off, Glenn. So I will just ask some of the questions in the comments here. So
sure.
Sam the Scent on Instagram has put, which niche houses have excited you recently? Is there any, you could just say 1 or 2, or what do you think?
Absolutely. And thank you for that question, Sam of Scent. I think I interact with Sam of Scent almost daily. Yeah. So I'll move backwards. Yesterday, I explored BDK perfumes. Myself and Elena Clouds, we did a live session together, and I was really impressed with this fragrance house. So that's one. Rogue Perfumes. I picked up one of his fragrances. Well, actually, it was Wearing This, Drinking That. That's James. He sent me some samples, and I discovered a fragrance from the Rogue Perfume House and bought it immediately. And I would like to add some more fragrances from his collection. So that has really, really excited me. This house, Anima Vinci, has really excited me. They are relatively unknown. You seldom see fragrances of theirs mentioned, at least on my community.
What's your favorite of Anima Vinci? Have you had the Discovery pack, have you? Or
I started with the Discovery set, so my favorites are Tudo Azul and Sesame Chan. Sesame Chan, it just mellows out so nicely. Just beautiful fragrances. I love it on my lady as well. So when I find a fragrance that I love on me and I love on her, it's a win-win.
Just quickly, Joe is always my favourite as well. I've got a Discovery set, and Sesame Chan is my second favourite. My daughter did a review on that Discovery set with me, and she said that Sesame Chan smelled like bread. Now, it doesn't smell like bread, but I know where she got the association from. I've worked it out. We eat a lot of tiger bread here in our household, and tiger bread, guess what it's made with? It's bread dough with sesame oil over the top of it, and then it's baked. And I think that's where she got the association from. So she said it's not like bread, but what a wonderful fragrance. I love that too.
Yes. Another house that I would mention is Renier. I only recently got fully acquainted with Renier perfumes, and absolutely love the story of the brand and the fragrances. And for me, oftentimes it's the story of the brand, and this is part of the reason why I love niche perfumes. I feel a sense of closeness to the owners, to the perfumers, and when you can sit and have a conversation and hear, how Rene, he was a painter, and he wanted a perfumer to interpret some of his pieces of art, and that's how his collection was born. That to me just pulls me in.
Wow. We've got Smurfy Girly Claire has put, Glenn, which is your favourite perfume house? Have you got a favourite?
I do. Hi, Smurf Girly. Claire, thank you for your question. I was actually watching her session with you early this morning when I was cooking. My favorite perfume house is Serge Luton. I love the quality. I love the price point. I love the fact that they push the envelopes. Even for me, with my diverse perfume taste, I've come across some Serge Luton fragrances that are just a bit much for me. So I love Serge Luton. That's my favorite house.
Excellent. John Snow, it's not a question, but he just asked me to say just a quick thanks to Glenn. This is Scented Snowdrops.
Hi.
So he would say, without you, nobody would have heard of him. And Glenn is a man of questions, and they push me to be me and unfiltered and just enjoy it all. And I think one of the things you've encouraged John to do, I can echo this, Glenn, is that you've taught him to not see gender in fragrance. And I think that's opened the whole world for John. And I think he'd like to thank you for that. So thank you from John.
You're welcome, John. I didn't make the connection. I had seen the name John Snow, but I didn't make the connection. But Scented Snowdrops is another account that I interact very, very regularly with. And it means a lot to me to hear this because, again, ordinary people discovering extraordinary fragrances and just being part of a community is what drives me. So.
Yeah. Josh Scent Review has put, thank you, Glenn Bro, for sharing the info in this live. And
my pleasure.
Nick from Talk and Review has put, is there a perfumer Glenn would like to interview that you haven't yet?
Yes. Andy Tower.
Okay, yeah.
Andy Tower is the perfumer behind my favorite niche perfume, L'air de Dessert Marocain. And, he doesn't really interact with influencers, reviewers, content creators a whole lot, but I've actually met him in person. I've met him in real life. And I would love to interview him.
Excellent. The Sentiment Man's put, nice to see Glenn. I like his cool t-shirt, his tall t-shirt. Used to listen to them when he was in school.
Wow.
He's put, someone sensualized Barry has put, what is Glenn's favorite film?
Excellent question, Sensualize. I have a couple. There was a long time where I said my favorite movie was Friday, just a comedy from Ice Cube. But I also like Law Abiding Citizen.
Yeah. I think I have seen it, but it's many, many years ago, so I need to get back to it. Do you watch a lot of film, Glenn? Is that something that interests you? Do you?
I watched quite a bit of TV. My fiance and I, we're usually always watching one TV show. We recently finished Money Heist, and now we're watching Dynasty, the new Dynasty. My mom watched the old Dynasty when I was a little boy in Trinidad, and they've remade it, but we've just been absolutely hooked.
Excellent. Do you watch? I mean, we watch shows on Netflix. Is that where you get most of your stuff?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Excellent.
Netflix.
Right. We've got John Marcello has put, Glenn, what fragrance has been a recent discovery that blew you away?
Sure. I could think of a few. Kiss Rain from the House of Rainier. Also, um, Habana 500 from the same house has just, oh my goodness, fabulous fragrance. Deveriche from the House of Rogue Perfumery. That's the house I was speaking about earlier. And
Yep.
that has been so much fun. If I was to turn back here and look, Gentle Fluidity, it's a new acquisition for me. Has really impressed me. There's a fragrance from Itat Libre d'Orange. This is the Herman. I don't remember the exact name. Um, Herman a Mess Cotes. It's a fragrance about darkness and shadow and light. Well, that fragrance is just so uplifting, and it's a more transparent composition, but it lasts and it projects. So that has really impressed me.
Excellent. Right, I'm going to fly through a couple more, Glenn. So sorry to keep you waiting. I've got
Sure.
Fragmental. So Chris is in the comments.
What's up, Chris? What's up, Chris?
So Chris has put, would Glenn rather drink a terrible old-fashioned in an amazing classy bar, or drink an amazing old-fashioned in a terrible dirty bar that stinks? That's a great question.
I'm gonna have to go with the amazing old fashioned. And Chris and I, we met up in New York when we went. We were both there for Sen Explore, and we had an old fashioned at a very nice bar, very nice bar in the city. And we actually recorded a little YouTube video on boozy fragrances. But that was a special moment for me because this fragrance journey, I've just met and connected with so many wonderful people. So shout out to Fragmental for being here.
Yeah, that with the question of that, I watched that video again. I've watched it before, but I watched it quite recently. And if we ever all get to meet, I would like to gate crash yours and Chris's bromance and join you in an old fashioned. So
absolutely.
If I'm not invited, I'll just sit somewhere and I'll be there in the background lurking. But it'd be lovely to do that, definitely. What an experience that must have been. I was very jealous. That was lovely.
It was very nice. It was very nice. I won't forget it. Just say that I won't forget it.
Good stuff. We've got Nigel from 2 Cents Worth has put, how many fragrances does Glenn own?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I haven't counted. I keep saying that I would like to do a live session and perhaps count them, but at the same time, I'm just like I just don't know how that's gonna make. I just don't know how that's gonna go over. How that may make someone, someone that isn't able to get as many fragrances. I see both sides of the coin, and at the end of the day, it doesn't really contribute to anyone's journey. So I haven't counted.
Yeah, no, I can't remember the last time I counted what I owned. Have you got any last questions for Glenn, Bex, before we go?
No, I don't think so.
Excellent. Glenn, have you got any last comments for us or any of our subscribers?
I want to say thank you to you both. The fragrance community needs more of this type of engagement, more of this reaching across the ocean and connecting. I had a session with Smelly Vision recently, and we talked before our session, and there's this, for want of a better word, tension with, like myself and a lot of the reviewers in the UK. And I use the word a lot loosely, but for no good reason.
Well,
And
Glenn, we don't see that at all.
yeah, I would like to see more cohesiveness. in the fragrance community. No one should feel like they have to form alliances or choose this group or that group. You know, I had a very unfortunate thing that happened last year, and for all intents purposes, it fractured the community. And you know, I with my own eyes saw people, you know, unfollowing me. That, you know, they later came back and they apologized. We need more of this. So thank you for this platform. Thank you for inviting me on. It was a great honor for me. Like I told you when I first got on here, I don't take anything for granted. And keep doing this. I look forward to seeing your future guests. And you know, if you need anything, you know, just holler at me.
You're a star, Glenn. Thank you. And there's a kiss from me too, mate.
Thank you.
If we ever meet, I'd love to give you a big hug, a corona-free hug.
You might not want you to hug
I want a hug. Glenn, thank you so much. You've been an absolute star and a legend.
Yes,
I mean that. You're very kind.
Thank you
very much. You go and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Oh, enjoy your curry. Have you got curry?
No, today I cooked stewed chicken and eggplant. I'm serving that with rice. That's a Trinidadian dish.
Yeah.
So I cooked earlier this morning. So now we're probably going to have lunch and watch some Dynasty. I did all my errands and my chores this morning. So
love it.
Excellent.
Well, you enjoy, and thank you very, very much for your support to both first.
My pleasure.
In the chat, we love you loads. So thank you very much, and we're honoured that you actually came onto our channel. So
my pleasure.
Take care of yourselves, Glenn. Thank you.
All right.
Brilliant. Enjoy your day. See you later, mate.
See you later.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye. Right, excellent. So there we go. So we've had Glenn, Mr Cologne76 on. So thank you so much to Glenn for coming on.
Yes.
Thanks for everybody in the comments for coming and saying hello and asking the questions. Chris has just put, thanks for a great live stream, guys. Time to record Scent Geeks. Shout out to the Scent Geeks. I will be listening again tonight, Chris, if it gets edited in time.
When he's stacking those shelves.
Still stacking those shelves. But look, thanks to everyone for bearing with us at the beginning as well, and a few hitches with the sound.
We always have a technical hitch every week.
It doesn't go by without that. But no, thanks to everyone. I hope everyone's feeling the love. We love you all, and we will see you all very, very soon. Me and Becca may do a live later in the week before our next Sunday's live, and I think I've got our next guest lined up. So on that note, we will see you all soon. Take care of yourselves. Thanks everybody. Sorry if I haven't mentioned a name in the comments, but I do appreciate you all. Love you all, and take care of yourselves.
See you later.
Bye bye. Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye 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 bye.